They are the haunting final moments before Aaron Alexis begins his killing spree, all captured in chilling living color. We first see Alexis just before 8 a.m. showing his entry pass before being waved in by a security guard. He drives into this parking garage, and moments later he walks into the Navy Yard through the front door of Building 197. It's 8:08 a.m. No metal detector, no bag check. Somewhere hidden, he's carrying this sawed-off shotgun. The FBI says he goes to this bathroom stall on the 4th floor and takes out the weapon and reemerges intent on killing. He's armed, peeking around corners, checking doors, looking for someone, anyone, to ambush and murder.
Mr. Alexis was a mentally unstable individual, and he was able to obtain a firearm 2 days before he carried out an attack.
On the shotgun, Alexis carved "End to the torment, better off this way," and "my ELF weapon."
Alexis held a delusional belief that he was being controlled by extremely low frequency, or ELF, electromagnetic waves.
On computer files in his backpack, the FBI discovered this final message: "Ultra-low frequency attack is what I've been subject to for the last 3 months. And to be perfectly honest, that is what has driven me to this." Now, the release of the video, it is sparking some controversy. FBI criticized by both Defense Department officials and victims' families. One senior Pentagon official said, quote, "People in DOD are furious that the FBI and other law enforcement officials unnecessarily put out the video footage today. It only adds to the pain of the families and brought life back to a killer." And at least one victim's family expressed dismay at the decision to release the video. Now, meanwhile, 911 tapes from last year's shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School are slated to be released as well. Connecticut's Freedom of Information Commission ordered the release of the tapes, ruling in favor of an appeal by the AP. But the tapes will not be made public while state prosecutors appeal that decision in court. 911 calls are typically released, but the Newtown tapes had been withheld because they were said to be part of an ongoing criminal investigation. Recordings could shed light on the law enforcement's response to the shooting. Okay, and on this one, part of this is just instinctual and part of this is media's right to know or public's right to know. I'll be honest, I just imagine, God forbid, I was one of those parents in Newtown. I don't want any of this stuff out there. I don't know what was gained by looking at the video that I saw of the Navy shooter, and certainly the parents or families should have been at least notified. But you make, we were talking about this morning, and you make, I think, a legitimate debate on almost a bad case makes bad law. There's other examples where the public would demand to see the video.
Well, certainly. You know, just going back to like 9/11, there are all these people who think that was a conspiracy theory. Some people think Newtown was a conspiracy. So there is some interest in doing that. It's a public or semi-public location, as was Newtown. 911 tapes are routinely released from crime scenes or crimes, so that's not really as much of an issue as the video. And for any concerns about, well, you're making this guy more famous, it's not like we didn't already splash his name all over the place anyway. We're not adding any glory to him. To me, it puts people inside the scene of the crime so they can experience what the victims experience.
Listen, I think law enforcement should analyze the tapes, look at the tapes, how they did things wrong, did things right, etc. But the idea on one of the frames there, you could see a man walking across the hall at the end of the hall. Now, I don't know if he was ultimately shot and killed. The family would have to view that, knowing that may be the last moment that person, you know, had. The Newtown tapes are obviously clear. You had young children killed. Why do we need to hear those tapes? There is no benefit for us as Americans to hear those tapes at all.
I happen to instinctively agree with you. I'll make one point. Imagine if there was video in Dallas that day, right, of him firing off bullets that killed the president on the grassy knoll. The public would demand that they'd want to see that. And again, that was a graphic murder, cold blood, tragedy. The victims' families, the Kennedys, they'd have to review that.
Sometimes the public shouldn't get what they want.
Right.
To me, it was cruel. But I think in a way you glorify this guy. I think there are going to be people who want to copy just what he was doing.
That would happen even if they didn't release the videos.
You know what? My view is I would like there never to be conversation about these people. But obviously...
you were in the media before you went to... Yeah.
For 40 years, there is a ghoulish appetite There's also on the part of the media an appetite for ratings and exploitation that seems to override common sense, good judgment, and taste, and even morality. I would prefer that these tapes were released very judiciously and long after the events.
I wish you were my
Good point to end
colleagues.
on. Yes. We'll be right back after this.
Mutual admiration.